Beginning Crochet, Lesson 1.3, How to Create a Foundation Row. Now that we have our first chain, we need to build this out a little bit so that we have something to work on that we can build our stitches into. Now, there are a few ways to build a foundation row by working into the chain, and I'm going to show you what I think is the easiest way. For our first attempt in working into the chain, hold the row facing front so that we're looking at the right side. You'll remember that this is the side with the nested V's. Locate the second chain from the loop and place your hook into the center of the V and under one thread, then yarn over and pull a loop through. Yarn over again and pull a loop through again. This is the first stitch that's been worked into the chain. Place the hook into the center of the next chain and under one thread. This has to be the thread on the same side as the first stitch that you made. You can do this on the front thread or on the back thread in this little V, but whichever one you choose, make sure that you choose the same one every time all the way down the row. Yarn over and pull a loop through. Yarn over again and pull a loop through. Now you'll move down the chain and repeat this step until you've reached the end of the chain. You must place your hook in every chain so that you can create the same amount of stitches as you made in your first row of chains. Once you're finished, you will have your first foundation row. Another way to work a foundation row into your chain is by starting off by holding the row of chains with the wrong side up. You'll remember that the wrong side has a row of little bumps that look like a spine straight down the center. Start at the second chain from the loop and place your hook under the bump on the wrong side of the chain. Yarn over and pull a loop through. Yarn over again and pull a loop through. Here you have your first stitch. Place your hook under the second bump, yarn over, and pull a loop through. Yarn over again and pull a loop through. Continue to repeat this until every chain has had a stitch worked into each chain on the row. And here, once you're finished, you'll have your second foundation row. So here we have two very similar foundation rows started. Let's take a minute to look at the difference in these rows. The first row we worked into the front under one side of the stitch, and the bottom of our row has a very neat single threaded line right here along the bottom. In the second row we worked into the back of the stitch, and the bottom of this row shows the entire stitch along the bottom. So the bottom of this row also shows the nested little V's perfectly lined up. Typically, either way will get your project started, but if you're following a pattern, your directions may tell you how the pattern wants you to work into the chain and describe either of these two ways. You may also come across a term called a chainless foundation row. To do this, we'll need to learn some stitches first, so that will come later. And for now, you can build your foundation by working into your first chain.